y'all, so I have a book haul for the last 2 days. I picked up a few books at the library unintentionally yesterday. So the library here in my town has a bookstore inside of the library, also a coffee shop, but it has a bookstore. I volunteer at the bookstore. The bookstore is actually run by a local nonprofit. It's the Friends of, I can't remember, but it's a nonprofit, and all of the proceeds from the sales at the bookstore go to the library. The bookstore, they sell gently used books, so they're donation based. I've donated a few books there myself. In the bookstore, all books are no more than $5, and if you go online, you can buy the books, and I think they may go up to 10 or 15. I'm not sure. The prices vary online, but I live in a predominantly white town, so when I go to this bookstore, when I go to volunteer, I usually shop the shelves, but I shop all Black authors because I just want to make sure that we are getting our recognition, right? So yesterday I went to the library to print out some documents. I had no intent on purchasing anything, but I stopped into the bookstore anyway. I found the lovely Justice Jackson's book, so I added this to my personal library. This book was $5, so very good prices on up-to-date books. So $5 for this one. I also have a goal for 2026 to read more books by Black authors. So I picked up Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black from the bookstore, also $5. And another goal that I have for my 2026 book goal is to add more Black classics to my library. So I've been a lot more intentional about the books that I purchase. Of course, none other than the Toni Morrison. So I picked up Jazz, and this book was $4 from the library, the bookstore in the library. And then I was hip to this Toni Morrison challenge for 2026. And it is a challenge to read all 11 of Toni's novels for the year of 2026 in the order that they were published, right? So I did not know that when I picked up Jazz. So that was just a great little coinky dink. So I ended up going to the bookstore today. I went to Marcus Books. Marcus Books is one of, if not the first, independent Black-owned bookstore in the country. And it's located here in the Bay Area. It's in Oakland, California. So I wanted to go today to go get Toni Morrison's first published novel, which is The Bluest Eye. So you can tell that this is a new cover. I think this is 2025 cover, not sure. But I picked this up, so this will be my first read. I can't remember if I read it or not, but I've decided that if I have read it or if I have not, I'm going to read every single one, starting with The Bluest Eye. So I'll be reading that next. Then I picked up Sula. So Sula is her second published novel. I picked this one up today specifically because of the cover. This is the old cover, and it's the only copy that they had at Marcus Books. So I wanted to grab that before I can no longer grab it in a newer print. So picked up this Toni today, The Bluest Eye. Picked up Jazz yesterday, and then Sula as well. So I'll go at each month that I need to read a Toni book, I'll just go to Marcus Books to pick up a hard copy, add to my own personal library, because I want to be more intentional about adding classics. So this Toni Morrison book is going to be my next read after The Bluest Eye. And then, of course, I had to pick up my guy, S.A. Cosby, My Darkest Prayer. I am intentionally buying all of his novels because they are so good, and I love Cosby's writing. I have My Darkest Prayer, picked that up today. I have one more left to get. It is All Sinners Bleed. So this is my collection for S.A. Cosby now. I have Blacktop Wasteland. I have, of course, Razor Blade Tears, and then his latest book, King of Ashes. And so this is my S.A. Cosby collection. And I'm going to go back to Marcus Books when I need to pick up another Toni book. I'm going to go back and pick up the next Toni read and also All Sinners Bleed. So I'll be complete with my S.A. Cosby collection. And also, to boot, I got all of these Cosby books except for the one I picked up today. I got all of his books from the bookstore and my library for $4, all of the essays. So I'm excited about completing that collection. And I am mostly excited about starting this Toni Morrison challenge. I cannot wait. I'm going to crack that up. I'm crack that open this evening after I finished with my day. And I'm going to start on The Bluest Eyes. So if you guys want to join the Toni Morrison, then there's a creator. I think she's here on TikTok, but she's on Instagram. And I will tag her and you can join on this challenge. So let me know if you've read any of these books that I have shown you today from my haul. These are all my Tonis. Of course, I showed you all of S.A. Cosby's books here. And then this collection, Don't Cry For Me. I believe Don't Cry For Me is new, of course. So let me know if you have read any of these. And then also if you have any recommendations of any of Black male authors that you think I should read. I love historical fiction. Then shoot those recommendations to me as well. Bye, y'all.